Chronicles of the Grim Reaper, More Than an Ending, by Griz Calderon. The evening air was quiet, the kind of quiet that seemed to pause the world for a moment. John felt it before he saw it, the subtle weight, the shift that told him he was no longer alone. John smiled faintly, setting his book aside. "It's you, isn't it?" The shadows deepened in the far corner, folding inward until they revealed a figure cloaked in darkness. The Grim Reaper stood silently, a sentinel from beyond time, yet John felt no fear. Over the years, he had come to recognize that presence as he might recognize the footsteps of a friend at his door. "You're not here for me," John said, his tone certain. The Reaper inclined his head. His silence spoke louder than words, and John understood. "Then why come tonight?" John asked, leaning forward, his hands resting on his knees. The answer came not in words, but in presence. The Reaper had not come for duty. He had come for John. John's chest tightened unexpectedly, emotion welling up inside him. "A visit, then." He laughed softly, shaking his head. "I never thought I'd see the day when Death himself came by just to sit with me." The Reaper drew nearer, his shadow stretching across the worn carpet. He stopped just beside John's chair, the air around him warm with a strange sense of closeness. "I should say what I've never said before," John murmured, his voice low but steady. "You've been more than a presence. More than a figure who waits in the corner of life. You've been a friend." The Reaper did not move, but John felt the words in his mind, resonant and unshakable. Friend. John swallowed, his eyes stinging. "I didn't think it possible. I didn't think you capable of something so human. And yet, here you are. Do you know what it means to me, to be seen this way by you?" The Reaper's presence shifted, leaning in, surrounding John with a quiet certainty. John sensed what few souls ever had, that Death himself cherished this connection. "You've made me live better," John admitted. "Every time you've come near, every time you've walked into a room for someone else, I walked away seeing life differently. I held my father's hand, knowing you were there. I grieved friends and pets with the comfort that they weren't alone in the end. You changed me, though you never asked to." The room fell into silence, the kind that stretched beyond sound, as though the walls themselves bowed to the weight of their bond. Finally, the Reaper spoke, not with a voice of air and breath, but with something deeper, carried directly into John's soul. "The next time I see you, it will be your end, but it will not be the end of us. Our friendship will remain, beyond time and beyond space. Know this, you matter to me, John." Tears blurred John's vision. He pressed a hand to his chest, overwhelmed. For a man who had lived a long life, full of people, experiences, and love, it was this singular connection, that felt unlike anything else. The shadows shifted, and in an instant, the Reaper was gone. The room brightened, the air lighter. But John remained still, hand pressed to his heart. He knew this night would never leave him. He had heard what few ever would, that even death could call someone friend. The end.